Okay, now that derby season's over, I'm going to be starting a Cummins swap to one of my trucks. Everybody loved it when I towed with the old 73 Ford, and the only problem is it gets $1 per mile worth of fuel economy. So I can't drive it. I spent over $3,000 in fuel and basically broke. So we're going to be taking the Cummins motor out of this, which is a 93 Cummins, and putting it into the Ford. Now, I've watched a lot of videos online, and I've read a lot of stuff, and I've actually put a $2,000 order into FordCummins.com, which was the adapter plate, the mounts, flywheel, clutch, pulley system, fittings, and you know what, they're nice to deal with. A little hard to get a hold of sometimes, but they know their stuff, and I went with them. I didn't go with D-stroke. I'm going to be trying to use the Cummins rad, the stock Cummins rad and the stock Cummins intercooler, but I'm going to try to use the actual Cummins power steering and switch the power steering out as well, because I don't have power steering on my 73. Now, this is a rotary pump 93 intercooled Cummins. And I bought it in the spring. Body's rotted. Look at the door drop. No rockers. Now, I'm not going to use the transmission or anything else, so I'm going to try to sell everything. I paid $600 for this truck, and I think I have the transmission sold for $3 and the box sold for $3. So that's the whole motor paid for, and then I can scrap whatever I don't sell. And the motor is going to be going into this truck here. Now this is a stock two-wheel drive truck, but I've made it full-wheel drive over the years. This one here. So they're saying I might have some issues because it is a stock two-wheel drive twin traction beam, so it's a little bit narrow. So I'm probably going to have to screw around with the motor mounts that I bought. Now this is the 360 motor, so the rad is not really going to work for me. It's not going to be big enough to cool the Cummins. I'll probably end up using it in a demolition car next year. The power steering's going to stay. The battery's probably going to get a dual battery. The turbo, I might have to change something around along the lines with the turbo. I might have to get the different manifold because of how close it is over there. Or I might just notch the inner fender. It's going to be going inside this truck. This truck is awesome to drive. It's just really shitty fuel economy. Those are 37s and she just eats the gas. So my plan is to put that motor inside of here. I'm going to be trying to do a series. Obviously, it's like middle of November, and it's like -18 right now. So, Celsius, not Fahrenheit though. We're in Canada. So, the wiring, I'm going to be keeping the alternator, obviously, and I'm going to try to keep the grid heater. Now, I don't think the grid heater works on this truck. So, I know the heater itself works because I've hooked the booster cables right up to it. But I'm going to have to try to keep the wiring itself down there. I'll have the hood off so we can take better looks at it the whole time we go through it. But I'm going to be starting a little series on here. So, stay tuned. So I've been working at the truck for about 2 hours now. I took off the doors because it's easier to get at the fenders. I tried to use only manual tools, but I ended up using the mini grinder on the inner fenders because they were pretty rotted. But it all came apart pretty good. I kept the rad because the rad is in immaculate shape. I'm going to have to get rid of the AC because I'm not going to keep that, and I think it might interfere with the Dodge frame down there. I'm going to take the coolant lines off and clean those up and paint them before I put them in the other one. Voltage regulator right there, that's got to stay. It all came apart pretty good. Day number 1 of the Cummins swap. I'm going to put a ZF 5-speed out of a 93 IDI Ford diesel, and that's what the adapter plate's coming to bolt it to. So power steering, I'm just going to unbolt it because this power steering box may be going into the 73 Ford. But it all came apart pretty good. No issue so far. Here's that rad. It's in pretty good shape, so I want to keep using that. But I'll have more videos to come doing this swap. There's the front end. Everything came apart pretty good. I can't really complain. But alright. See you guys later. Looked like we jumped a couple steps, but the motor came out. I took it out as a motor tranny combo. I highly doubt this motor was designed to come out like this because I had massive issues. I basically just unbolted everything, unclipped all the connectors, and it came apart pretty nice. I kept the throttle linkage, one tie down at the back, one tie down at the front. I just cut the exhaust, cut the transmission mount because I'm keeping none of that. Transmission is no good to me. So I just cut the stuff I didn't need, kept all the wiring all connected. Came out pretty nicely. No big concerns, except I forgot to catch the transmission fluid, so it's all over the shop floor. So we got the Ford in, and first thing I got to do is take the 37s off and put little dinky tires on it so my engine crane can actually fit in. Tomorrow morning I'll be taking the fenders, the hood, inner fenders, bumper, grill, rad cradle, everything out, because that way I can actually get at it and work. The 360 in here barely ran good enough to get inside the shop. She's 40 years old and I just ain't got the time for it no more, and I'm tired of the fuel economy. So the diesel will be going in there, and I just have to wait on my adapter kit, starter, flywheel, clutch, all my stuff from Ford Powertrain or FordCummins.com. Awesome.